Good afternoon, class. It's your teacher, Jake. I hope that everyone is doing very well today, that your family is good, that you are good, and that you are full of hope, even though we are far away. I miss you. I hope to see you again sometime very soon. But today we have another English lesson, and this lesson is very important. In class, we might spend 1 week talking about this idea because it is very important and very common in English. So if you need to watch this video many times, if you need to watch the video that Beth will make practicing these ideas many times, that's okay, and that's very good because this is an idea that needs lots of practice. Today we are going to talk about conjunctions. Conjunctions are words that connect phrases or ideas. So, for example, there are 3 major conjunctions in English. These are and, but, and or. And, but, and or. First, let's talk about and. And is a word that is used all the time. It's like the. We use and every day, many, many times in English. And has the idea of adding something. For example, if I'm in a restaurant, I may say, I ordered a fish and a salad. I'm talking not only about ordering fish, but also something else, a salad. I ordered fish and a salad. If I'm talking about my family, I might say, I have 2 sisters and 3 brothers. And is used many times, and when we use and, we add something to a word or a phrase. Another common conjunction is but. But is a qualifier, and it changes the idea. So all conjunctions, and, but, and or are the most common. All of these connect ideas, but is a special conjunction that changes the idea or the emphasis. So, for example, if I'm ordering in a restaurant this time, I might say, I would like a salad, but no onions, please. Meaning, I want a salad, but I do not want the onions. I want everything else, the lettuce, the tomatoes, everything the salad has, but I do not want onions. Maybe I want my breath to be fresh and not to be smelly, so no onions for me, please. If I'm talking about my family, I could say, I lived with my sister, but now she lives in California. Meaning in the past, I lived with her, but now she lives far away in California. So, but changes the idea and adds something new. Another conjunction that is used very often in English is or. Or talks about choice. So if I'm ordering in a restaurant, the waiter or the waitress may ask me, would you like a salad or some fruit? Meaning, I have a choice. I can choose this or that. This is good with your children. Maybe they're running around all day long because you don't have school and you can't go outside very much, so you're inside a lot, and so they're running, and you say, stop. You can help me with the housework or read in your room. You have a choice. You cannot do anything, there is a choice. We use the word or to give options for the choice. Another example, maybe I'm talking about my brother and what he wants to do. I could say, my brother wants to swim or take a walk tomorrow. He has a choice. Okay, so there are 3 big conjunctions in English: and, but, and or. All of these conjunctions connect ideas. They can connect words. I would like a salad and orange juice. They can connect full sentences, full clauses. I went to the store yesterday and I found a bag of rice. I can connect two clauses together with a conjunction. Let's turn to page 100. In your books, if you have them. If you don't, I have a picture of the top. Last time I gave you all the answers to the page when I showed you the picture, so I'm sorry about that. That was not a very difficult lesson for you, I'm sure. But today I only have the examples on the top, and you will have to fill out the rest on the bottom. If you do not have a book and you'd like them, just text me, and I can send you a full picture, and you can cover up the answers and work on the problems yourself. Okay, so on page 100, we have examples of conjunctions. So in the first box, we have an example for the word and. It says, I work on Saturdays, period. I also work on Sundays, period. So here we have two sentences. In English, this is perfect. The grammar has no problems. But we might want to combine these clauses together to make one sentence. And if we want that, we could say, like in the second column, I work on Saturdays and Sundays, period. This way we take two longer sentences and we combine them to make one shorter sentence, or one sentence that's a little longer but shorter than two. So using conjunctions well can save you time and can save you words, and sometimes that's very important. So the important word to see in this example is the word also. When we see the word also, this is a very good clue that we should use the word and instead. I have a sister, period. I also have a brother. No problem in English. But I could also say, I have a sister and a brother. Shorter, easier, very clear. Look at the second example. This is for the word or. We see sometimes he works on Saturdays, sometimes he works on Sundays. Again, no problem in English. But we can make this shorter and easier by saying, with the second column, sometimes he works on Saturdays or Sundays. The important word to see in this example is the word sometimes. Sometimes he does this, or sometimes he does this. There are two options, and they're not both true at the same time. If they were both true at the same time, we would use the word and. He works on Saturdays and Sundays. The next example is for the word but. The left column says, she worked on Saturdays. She doesn't work on Sundays. So the first sentence, the first clause, she works on Saturdays. We have this statement in a positive tone. When does she work? She works on Saturdays. The second sentence is in a negative tone. She doesn't work on Sundays. This is very important when deciding whether or not to use but as a conjunction. If a sentence or a clause or two sentences have ideas that are opposite, or if there are negative words, it's a very good clue that we need to use the word but. So instead of she works on Saturdays, she doesn't work on Sundays, we can combine the sentences with the right column and we can say she works on Saturdays, but she doesn't work on Sundays. Again, the big idea for but, the big clue that we can use is to look for opposite or negative ideas. One more thing about the word but. Notice on the right column that when we use a conjunction, and or, the first two examples, there are no commas. On the third example, with but, there is a comma, because we're not continuing an idea or putting two ideas together as a choice, but we are actually changing the tone and the idea of the sentence by adding a qualifier. We're changing the idea with the word but. So she works on Saturdays, but she doesn't work on Sundays. Needs a comma. This is always true with the word but. Sometimes and or also get commas, but this is only when there are many things in a list. I work on Saturdays and Sundays and Mondays. I like pizza or sandwiches or salad. Sometimes these lists of things using and or will get commas, but we will never use a comma with and or if they're only doing their job, their regular job as a conjunction. But gets a comma very often. So keep that in mind when you look at examples in the book and when you're answering the problems below. Please look down on page 100 and notice that there are many sentences, and it is your job to combine these sentences using the right conjunction, using and, using but, using or. Like always, please feel free to ask me or to ask Teacher Beth if you have any questions about the work. You can text. This is easier than calling because when you text us, we can call you when we have time to talk about your question, and this makes it easier. Or we can text you back the answer, and then you have it on your phone and not just in your memory. Otherwise, thank you for watching. I hope that everything is good for you. I hope that you're practicing your English. But more than this, I hope that this time, even though we're away, even though we're inside, even though we don't get to see each other and that is hard, I hope that there are some good things that you're noticing and that you can be filled with hope even in this difficult time. I miss you. I'll see you soon, I hope.